Good morning. My name is Charnel Blevins, and I am a mother of 6 children who've attended LA Unified Schools. One 2020 graduate from and 2 returning to Hamilton High School this fall. Today I return to give an update on Speak Up's recently published survey of 430 parents asked about their experiences with distance learning this spring and the changes they want to see this fall. Health and safety are parents' top priorities. Black and Latino parents have the greatest safety concerns given how COVID-19 has devastated our communities. If campuses reopen this fall, we know students will still be learning online, at least part-time, so it's critical that LA Unified gets distance learning right. Because LA Unified did not require teachers to provide live synchronous online learning in the spring, we found huge racial and socioeconomic disparities in the amount of live instruction and teacher contact students received. Black and Latino students were up to 3 times more likely than white students to have received live instruction once a week or less, and up to 7 times as likely to have had no contact with teachers at all after schools closed. Conversely, white students were 2 to 3 times more likely than Black and Latino students to receive live online instruction every day. Of my kids' 21 teachers, only 5 taught consistent live online classes this spring. I found AP teachers were the most likely to offer live lessons. One of my kids had to choose between an AP English class and a physics class because school sites were not allowed to create bail schedules. The bottom line is this: kids that were already advanced received more instruction than kids who were not. Speak Up survey found that students with disabilities, English learners, and low-income students also receive less live instruction and teacher contact than students whose home language is English or more affluent or are general education students. None of this can happen again in the fall. To state it plainly, a lack of minimal standards and accountability perpetuates systemic racism, classism, and ableism. We must do better by our students and correct these disparities, or existing opportunity achievement gaps will only widen. High school students like mine should be getting at least 3 hours of live online instruction daily. These live instructions should be recorded so students can access them later if needed. As you know, teachers and administrators will assess the learning loss that took place this spring and work hard to close this gap. Parents want teachers to be required to provide feedback on students' work so students don't feel like their hard work is wasted. We must set high standards and aim for excellence. As you plan for reopening schools and set standards for online instruction, we implore you to form a task force that includes parents. Distance learning is an enormous burden on us, and we deserve a seat at the table.
I need you to conclude.
We ask you to provide us the technology training we need to assist our students and help us with childcare so we can work. Neither we nor you can do this alone.
Thank you.
But together we can get through this trying time. So let's truly partner to make sure our students get the education they deserve to reach their potential. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Lisa Moscow, and I'm the parent of a student with an IEP. I'm here today on behalf of Speak Up Special Education Task Force. I echo Speak Up's call for an average of 3 hours of daily live synchronous instruction when kids are learning online. However, I would also like to hear about plans for improving special education services. In the first few weeks of school closures, I received calls from many families saying that their students weren't receiving services. To be clear, I understand how challenging the situation was. All of our heads were spinning. However, as the weeks wore on, I saw that while some schools moved forward with live synchronous services, other schools did not. To get a better picture of the situation, we conducted a survey focusing on more than 125 families of students with IEPs. The results, which we have not yet released publicly, were disheartening. Fewer than half of students with IEPs received services during the campus closures, and over 60% received them in a format unsuitable for the intended therapy, such as emailed worksheets instead of virtual speech therapy. The Division of Special Ed, in accordance with state and federal guidelines, has stated that all students with IEPs shall receive their services to the greatest extent possible, and has told its related service providers that face-to-face learning via Zoom is preferable. The district has also been monitoring documentation of service minutes logged by providers into Wellington. However, one parent I spoke with recently discovered that after her repeated requests for services were ignored by her school, her child's service provider had actually fraudulently logged those services into Wellington as having been refused. Another parent repeatedly attempted to contact her school for services, only to find out from the district that the school had reported that she had been unreachable. Many of those who received services did so in a way that violates accepted practices in those areas of specialty, such as OT via YouTube links. This is tragic and illegal, and the $16 million that the district spent in 2018-19 on due process reimbursement will look like chump change compared to the litigation that will surely come down the pipeline this year if the district doesn't take some bold and clear action to remedy the situation and win parents' trust. There's a direct correlation between parent engagement and improved student achievement, so let's take advantage of this opportunity. Engage parents of students with disabilities in the upcoming year directly and survey them quarterly. Cross-reference what you hear from parents with what is logged into Welligent. Involve parents of students with disabilities in the development of the survey and in negotiations with our labor partners. Not only will you be improving access to services, but you'll be building a stronger foundation of partnership between parents, teachers, and admins, a foundation upon which our most vulnerable learners can truly thrive. Thank you.
Thank you.